What is up, my friends? I have been thinking a little bit about something. It just struck me recently. Like, a few minutes ago, I realized I wanted to make a video, and I realized that I realized what I wanted to talk about or share in the video. And so, I hope you guys can hear me okay. I hope the sound is okay. Hopefully it's fine. But, I was thinking about the process of I don't know if deprogramming is the right word. It possibly is. But the process of deprogramming of lies, the process of realizing that lies that you believed were actually lies. A lot of people in this is the modern mainstream, being woke, waking up, all this stuff. It's very, very public. This is a very popular type of thing, right? Everyone talks about being woke. Everyone talks about, if you get into spirituality, people talk about waking up and everything. Taking the red pill versus the blue pill, like Neo in the Matrix. Things like that. But I want to talk about this, and I have a distinct vision connected to what I'm talking about. And so it's really crazy, but I just really want to share it with you. I want to explain this to you. We believe things that are not necessarily true. We have a lot of false beliefs and false ideas, right? And I mean, everybody does to some extent, and it just depends what it is, right? Everybody has some. I think everybody has some, right? False beliefs, false ideas, and meaning that we believe something, but it's literally not true. It's literally not true. And we don't know that it's not true, and we believe it, or we might to some extent, right? It might be it goes from conscious to subconscious to unconscious, right? So whatever. But anyway, so I want to talk about the process of me realizing that a lot of things I used to believe were false, and realizing that the truth, realizing what the truth is and was, right? So this specifically, you guys can tell from the title of my video, this is about the church, right? This is about my conversion, right? And so when I remember distinctly having I have some very vivid memories of some things and times during my conversion, where I was at home at my mom's house, where I live and where I lived at the time. And it was really interesting. I remember specifically my parents had gone out of town for a couple days, and I was just there at the house alone, basically, watching the animals, and just had a lot of time to myself. And it was nice. I didn't have to work. I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to do anything. I was just there. I could just do whatever I wanted, right? And I still can, right? But it was just really nice. I had this time in solidarity. And I just remember the day going by, just like, I would keep myself spiritually in check. Like, I would make sure I read my Bible every day, that sort of thing. And but this what I'm describing, this time period of this day, or these couple days, happened. And I remember being outside and watching the sunset, and I had a lot of books. I'd gotten a lot of books. I've been on a kick for a while buying books. I just love books so much. But I was like this time in my life, I was buying a lot more than I am now. I guess you could still say I buy a lot now, but I was buying a lot more then. So I had a lot of books, and I had all these, just this desire, this thirst, this knowledge to just devour. I just wanted to devour information. I wanted to devour it, right? And I didn't have much of a compass. I didn't have much of a clear, precise compass. My compass was like this. This is the direction you're going, Justin. You're going this way. This way. And then once I started figuring out the truth, like fast forward a bit, skip forward back a bit to once I met the missionaries, and when I started reading the Book of Mormon, realizing that the truth, my compass was more like this. Does that make sense? And so it was really fine-tuned. My direction, my mentality, everything. My direction was much more fine-tuned. Well, so I want to explain this period of time. I wanted to explain a couple memories I have. I have this one memory being in the bathroom at my mom's house. Like I had just taken a shower, I was getting ready to take a shower, or I was getting ready to take a bath or try to take a bath, because our shower and bath system it doesn't work correctly. So I don't know what I was doing in there, you know what I mean? I was just there. I was getting changed, I was shaving, I was doing something like that. I was just there, right? And I think I might have gotten into the tub and tried to take a bath and was reading, or something like that. But I just remember my awareness, and I think you could, if you're sensitive, you might be able to pick this up, but my awareness through this time was going like this. It was increasing. I was becoming super aware of things. I think, my awareness was growing, basically. And so there was that. And I was in talks with these missionaries, right? I met them on Facebook, missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I was like having a lot of inner turmoil, because I was like, is this right? Is this right? Am I doing the right thing? Am I getting ready to like just go way off course? Am I getting ready to jump off a cliff? Is this insane? Is this right? Am I supposed to do this? Am I straying from the path? Am I committing spiritual suicide? What am I doing here? What am I doing? And here I am, and I'm like, I feel like God's led me here. I was having a lot of questions and doubts and thoughts. Crisis of faith a little bit mild, but I was pretty well grounded, I guess, with God, to where I didn't really feel that scared or that worried. I was comfortable enough with my relationship with God that it wasn't bothering me. And I love this lighting. Look at this lighting right now. Look, see how this has changed. This is like, I believe this is what happens when you start sharing, like, really start talking about some really good stuff. It just happens, like the Spirit just shows up. I've seen it happen in my other videos. The light just changes, right? And I'm just, it's amazing. It just testifies more of the truth, testifies of Christ. But so I'm debating in my head. I'm thinking, is this right? Can I do this? Am I allowed to do this? All this kind of stuff, right? All these questions. I didn't know about agency then. I didn't know about, agency. I didn't know about the entire concept of agency was the furthest thing from my mind. I was really like trying to figure things out. Like I didn't know if I was allowed to do what I was doing. I mean, because I was trying to walk the straight and narrow, and I didn't want to deviate from that path, right? So I was trying to keep myself in check, and I didn't want to do something that would be taking myself way down I didn't want to do something that was taking me down the wrong road, taking me in the wrong direction, or anything like that, or taking me away from Christ, right? Because God and Jesus and like the truth, the Bible, the truth, like God, it's like the most important thing to me. So I don't want to be deceived. I don't want to go down any different dark road or anything like that. I want to stay continuing to pursue God. So how do I continue pursuing God while I'm talking to these missionaries? And right, so there's this dilemma in my head, and I'm like, well, is this true? If this is true, it's true, then oh my gosh, what does that mean? That's just a whole can of worms. That's insane if it's true, But so it was crazy. But all this happened, and it happened in a very, this might sound chaotic the way I've described it, but it happened in a very peaceful way. It happened in a it happened at a perfect pace. And the pace was perfect for me. It was perfect for me. It was perfect for my growth. It was lovingly. It was done in a way that I would be okay, if that makes sense. And it happened at the time that I was ready for it. And because if this happened at other times, I could see myself not accepting it, right? Like it just wouldn't have been right. This was the perfect time for me to find out this truth. And about the Book of Mormon being true, about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints being God's true church, finding out that what the missionaries were saying was true. And this was the biggest change in my life, I think. The biggest change I'd ever made in my entire life. And so that's no light deal, right? That's not small potatoes. That's everything, right? That's a huge deal. And so I remember vividly being in the bathroom. I just remember kind of mulling it over, going back and forth, and like racking my mind and praying and asking, and like, oh my gosh, what's going on, God? I feel like things are changing, but what's going on? And am I doing the right thing? And am I going in the right direction? And I'm just praying, but then there's all this stuff testifying to me, all this evidence proving to me that this is the right thing. And so I'm kind of at a conflict, because I'm like, God, you're showing me all these things, but are they from you? And I'm like, it was such a conflicting feeling, because I knew God, I had a relationship with God, so all of a sudden I'm just going to question him, right? So what was happening at this time was really starting. I'll tell you exactly what was happening, and it's the most beautiful thing. The lies that were in my brain, in my mind, in my spirit, my soul, whatever, the lies, the mistruths, and the misbeliefs that I had were being plucked out. They were being cornered. They were being surrounded by the truth, and they were given no option but to surrender, and in the best way, in the most loving way, right? God doesn't work in a mean way. He's not angry. He's not evil. You know what I mean? Like he's not like that. And I mean, you can make him angry, but he's not like that. He's not like that. He doesn't just deliberately do bad. He doesn't do mean things. He's just not a mean God, right? He's not mean. God is not mean. He's loving. But anyway, so this thing started happening, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And I can't tell you any more without explaining this vision, because it's been in me the entire time I've been talking about this video and talking about this story. Is the onion peel. My brain, I could see it. I could see him in a vision. My brain, I could see my mind. I could imagine through imagination and vision. I could see my mind, and I could see it, and I could see these layers coming like this off of it. And it was. So God helped me. He showed me that. He helped me make sense of what was going on. And he showed me that these things that I was kind of freaking out by, because they were falling away. I was panicking. It's like, oh my gosh, what do you do when your safety net disappears, right? And then I was realizing I didn't need it I never needed it. I didn't need it anymore. It wasn't doing me any good. Not only that, but it wasn't true. And I didn't need to believe something that wasn't true, right? And so this was a huge process that started, and it was like, oh my gosh. And the whole time I'm thinking, well, I know how people see the church as a cult, because they just don't get it. This is a crazy thing. This is like, oh my gosh, like when you start realizing that so many things you believed were not true, and it's not because someone's brainwashing you, and it's not because someone is using some kind of psychological manipulation on you. It's not because someone is a cult leader and they're trying to seduce you or bring you into their cult. It's not because of any of that, no. It's because the simple fact that you thought something was true, and now you realize, and now you found out that it's not. And that is a big deal, especially when it comes to, deep beliefs that you hold and that you held. And and I say this, and it's heavy because there is a heavy side, but there's also the lighter side. And the lighter side is it's not that big of a deal. Once you realize that something's true, then there you go. You know it's true. That's amazing. You know it's true. And the same when you realize something's not true. You're like, oh, well, shoot, that's not true. Well, then, hey, what do you do then? You just, you don't worry about it anymore, right? You just don't worry about it anymore. And so, this is a pretty unbelievable thing I'm explaining, and I think that it's gonna sort a lot of you guys who are watching this and listening to this into different places, if that makes sense. I know that people are gonna have different reactions to this. If anybody I don't know how many people are going to see this video. I hope a lot. I hope billions of people see this video. You know, I do. But I'm just explaining to you. I'm just explaining to you what happened, that process, and what's going on. And it's a constant process of things that we learn that are true, and then we start realizing it helps illuminate what is not true. And so all these onion peels all these onion layers of onion peels, whatever. These layers of onions started peeling off, symbolically off of my mind, these false beliefs. And again, that's so there's that. But then the more important part that I want to back up and I want to just put in this video and I just want to share this, guys, with everything that I've got, okay? I want to just share this with you, okay? I was not brainwashed, okay? Because so many people have such a hard time accepting this concept because they swear and they will not let go. They're holding on to dear life with fingernails clenched in. They're bleeding. They're struggling. They're squeezing for dear life because they're so afraid to let go, and they just don't know what's on the other side. They just don't know that when they let go, it's actually okay. And not only is it okay, but it's actually what you're supposed to do, because it's actually better for you to let go. And so that's where I'm saying I was not brainwashed. I was not tricked. I was not deceived. I was not deceived by a false spirit, by a false Jesus. I wasn't deceived by the devil. I didn't listen to the devil. I didn't follow the devil's advice. I didn't do that. That's not what this is, okay? And you know what? Yes, I have listened to the devil in my life because I've given into temptation. And you know what? I'm human. I make mistakes. So everybody is, and everybody does. So there are times where we do listen to the devil, and we give into temptation, right? You know what I mean? But that's not what I'm talking about here. And that's not what this is. This is not me giving into temptation and all that stuff. This is me realizing, and the Holy Spirit witnessing to me and ministering to me and telling me, and God, literally, I saw a vision of God. I saw a vision of God when I asked Him, because I needed to know. You know what I mean? I needed to know. I needed an answer. I needed to know. I needed to be sure. Because if this was true, I was going to go. And I was going to do it. And I was going to do it. And I was going to do it hard. You know what I mean? I'm going to go in. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to play. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And that's that. And I'm not going to look back. And I'm going to do it. Do you understand? I'm jumping in both feet. And I'm not coming out. That's where I'm coming from with this. So, and God knows that. And God knew that when I explain this to Him, and I didn't have to, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get the answer from Him about the Book of Mormon and the Bible and the missionaries and the truth and whatever. And I don't know how much time I'm going to have left. This video might end soon because I'll probably run out of memory, but anyway. So I'm asking Him, and He gives me an answer. And you know what? He didn't just give me an answer like a confirming feeling, because sometimes you ask God for an answer and it feels like He's not there, right? It feels like He's not there. You're like, oh, great. Okay, yeah, I get it. Okay, I go a little bit more, I guess. Man, it sucks. I gotta go through the valley, or I gotta go through the desert, or whatever. I gotta go through this trial right now where I don't feel like I'm hearing from God, But sometimes you do. Sometimes He's there, and there's that. But and God has a plan for everything. So it's not because He's some deceiving God or whatever, or He's a trickster God, or He's playing games with you or anything like that. It's not like that. But He gave me a vision of Him. He gave me a vision. He showed Himself to me. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I literally saw God through my mind's eye, through my spirit. In my imagination even, yeah, it was my imagination, but does that mean that it was not true? No. It was true. I know what I saw, and I know that it was real. Not delusional again, I'm not crazy, whatever, But I literally was just asking God everything I just got done explaining to you. What's the deal here, God? Is this right? Am I supposed to do this? Am I on the right path? Because I'm getting ready to go, and I think I need to go, and I think I need to do this, and I think I need to, but I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I should do. I need help. I need help, God. What is this? Please tell me. Yeah, I don't need help. I don't need the missionaries' help. I just need you, God. I just need you. Please help me. Please help me. And so ultimately, am I going in the right direction or not? And you know what He did? You know what message He gave me? You know what He did? This is what God did. This is what He showed me. And this is what He communicated to me to answer my question. Okay. He sat back like this, very calm. He looked at me. He gave me a thumbs up. He just went like this. Just like that. And the perfect way for me to understand, the perfect way for me to get it. And I understood it, and I knew it, and I had that testimony. I had that experience, that I won't ever forget. And I didn't make up. I didn't imagine that. I didn't have a bias. Do you understand where I'm coming from in this? I didn't have a preference. I didn't have a preference in whether this was true or not. I just wanted to know what the truth was. I didn't care if it was true, but I wanted it to be true, yeah, but I wanted the truth. That's what I wanted more than anything. I wanted what was true. I wanted to know what the truth was. And so that's why I asked, and that's how I asked, and that's the answer I got. And ever since then, that has continued, and it has never stopped. Here I am today looking at you and talking to you about this that happened about 2 years ago. And it has been a constant unraveling. The onion peels have still been pulling off. I still have more when I don't realize, even when I think I don't. Sometimes I realize I do, right? We all do. So that's just a constant process of, I have to be humble, right? And I have to be teachable, and I have to remember that I don't know everything. I'm not perfect. I'm not a genius. I'm not all-knowing. I don't know everything, and I need to be wise, and I need to listen, and I need to be ready to be corrected, and I need to be open to criticism, and I need to listen, and I need to be teachable. I need to be humble. So that's what I'm saying. And something else, I'm just going to keep going until I run out of time. Hopefully I have enough time to make this and do this in this video. But, so there's, actually, you know what, I'm going to save this for another video because I don't want to run out of time. It's too good. But yeah, I'm going to make another video right after this, and it'll be pretty short. So, who knows, I think it'll be short. So we'll see. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching.